thing back up there. I don't know where it went. Islam.
Okay.
Islam.
Well, I shared it.
Okay, perfect. Islam. I'm gonna allow you to open the meeting if you don't mind, Bashara. I'm gonna turn my camera off really quick while I set up this other camera. Islam.
Okay. Islam. Islam.
Islam.
Okay, so I first just want to start this meeting by giving my praises. I give all praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, peace, freedom, truth, and justice. I give the highest honors to our illustrious prophet, Noble Jew Ali, who brought us this blueprint, clearly cut, and give honors to Marcus Garvey, who helped pave the way. And I also give honors to everyone with the sound of my voice. Islam.
Islam.
Okay. So opening the meeting, I just want everyone who is with us to rise and state their name.
Islam. When I say something really fast, I just want to say something real quick. So
Islam.
Make sure we're Islam. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Islam.
Can we all stand while we recite our Moorish American prayer? We're going to turn to the east is going within, or you could just stand. We're just going to do it this way because we're looking at our audience. But just for going within, we're going to stand to pray before we introduce ourselves so we can set the tone and give this energy and the spirit of Allah to come in and run the meeting for us, because that's when we allow him to speak through us, and then we're able to come through each other in the same way. Islam.
So
Islam.
We put up 5 fingers on the left, we put up 2 on the right, with our heels touching one another, standing on our square. Repeat after me. So the prophet standing on the square on the Constitution. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And
justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
And
my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Now, Sister Rashad, I'm turning it right back over to you so I can finish. I just didn't want us to miss that part, so we could just set the tone. No disrespect. I did not mean to cut your wisdom. Forgive me.
Islam, go ahead. So we're going to be reading out of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his Father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God, Allah. So, Sister Tay, you want me to read the divine constitutional laws?
Islam, you can. You want to do the Constitution? Joy, you want to do bylaws? Do you have bylaws with you, Joy?
That's what I'm looking.
Because you could do the first Constitution, Sister Bashara, Islam, and then Joy, you can do the bylaws.
Yes, that's Acts 1 through 7, correct?
Yes, but it says additional laws for Moorish Americans by the prophet.
This one say the divine constitution. You know what book I got?
Oh yes. All right. So she could do the divine constitution. I'll do the bylaws just so, because I know she needs to correct the bylaws and stuff, and I'm not sure which ones are in there.
Yeah, I don't know what we're dealing with over here.
So go ahead, Bashara. And then if you don't want to, I could do the bylaws if you want me to.
That's fine.
All right, Islam, go ahead.
The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution, and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. And on Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother, and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from the Holy Prophet Noble Jew Ali through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Islam.
Islam. Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. I would like to first rise because I didn't even rise and give honor, so please excuse me. I would like to first rise and give holy praises to the high holy praises to our Father God Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Also, Allah, the mother of the virtues and harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. I want to also rise and give holy honors to our illustrious and divine Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I also want to rise and give honors to all the divine prophets for all the wonderful works that they brought into us. Because here in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we honor all prophets, not some, but all prophets. So that's Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, etc. Keep it going. Islam. So now I will also want to give honors to each and every one of you. Thank you, my sisters, for being here, so we can help uplift humanity, because that's why we're here. We were called to do a mighty job. You know what I'm saying? I feel each one of us was called in our own certain way. And it's so amazing to see how Allah is moving right now, how the force is moving over the earth to create us, to create this energy for us to be able to be on these platforms and bring people together and all of that. Like, Allah is really moving in ways I don't think people are understanding. We're moving things that shouldn't be there, even though we may want to hold on. He's taking that stuff away. He don't want us to have it. He knows that we're worth more than that. We're his children. So he knows that. So I want to honor you, sisters, for coming to the call because people need us. We all are going through something. And
Yes.
it's a lot of, all of us are sick out here in some kind of way. So I have so much honor to you guys when you show up and you could be doing other things. So I really appreciate it. And Sister Joy, Islam, for you coming, and we know you at work. Islam. So I
Islam.
appreciate you heeding the call, but that's what happens when Allah calls you. You have to listen to him, and you do have to get up and do what he says as well. He, she, him, her, mom, dad. I'm just gonna say parents. Do what our parents say, tell us to do. So Islam. So I would like to read the recitation for the Moorish Science Temple of America, additional laws for Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh is the governing head of our temple. All business of said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before being acted upon by any member. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the member to sacrifice finance, that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under a heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their adept meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second case will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the for much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Islam, my apologies. Takes
Islam.
finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is the lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while up making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. And we must conform ourselves to the questionnaire and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. This is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Islam,
Islam.
Islam,
Islam.
Islam.
Islamism.
So it is Sunday school, and out of Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. I know we've done like 101s. I want to know, Sister Vashaya, will you want to just pick a chapter to come from today? We just gonna let the Circle 7 work for us, or Joya. Y'all can let this Circle 7 work for y'all. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that there may be anything really super wrong with the one you have. I'm not gonna say that. We can still come from it because somewhere in there we know that's there. So at the end of the day, we're learning. We're all learning and unfolding. And the one thing I want us all to please understand is that as we're learning from one another. So I feel there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Let's just flow with this, because the importance of this is for the energy to raise up. You know what I'm saying? We have to raise our own frequency up to Allah. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to raise it. So I want us to just, if we could flow like that today, I would be so excited, because I do want to talk about how Allah has been showing up in people's lives and how we have to pay attention to when things are showing up. It's not because he doesn't want it for us. It's just he wants better for us, even as much as we think we want it. Because I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this honey on my tongue, y'all. Hold on.
Let me put on my Sally Jesse Raphael glasses. Hold on one second.
All right. And let me put honey on my tongue. Let me put my glasses on too, because I know I can't see. I'm excited. We should all leave the meeting, go out for each
I
other's.
feel bad. I just got on glasses because I like them.
Girl, I'm about to put these on because I can't see.
I
But the
know
thing
right
about
now
it, I need to take them off because I can't see with them on because I don't really need them. But
what's crazy. I only have problems reading small print if I'm emotional, and I think that's my blood pressure. Like, I'm
Mm,
emotional today. I'm really conquering my lower self, my subconscious mind. I'm really
mhm,
dealing with all of that today.
mm,
Now, in this book, the Holy Quran, the Grand National Emblem of Worship Mary, this is what I'm reading from, y'all.
mhm.
So I
okay.
don't know what it is in the actual Circle 7, but I opened up to chapter 12.
Okay.
Yehoshua reveals to the people of their sinful ways.
Come on. Jesus
Okay.
reveals to the people his sinful ways. That's chapter,
And
you said
this book is chapter 12.
12?
Chapter 8
Okay, for you it's
Yes,
chapter
chapter
8.
8.
is
See what I'm saying? We can
mine.
still find it. The prophet's everywhere. He don't go nowhere. His words are truth and power.
Islam. I'll start reading.
Islam.
In all the cities of Orissa, Yehoshua taught. At Katak by the riverside, he taught, and thousands of the people followed him. One day, a car of Jagannath was hauled along by scores of frenzied men, and Yehoshua said, "Behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fires. This car of Krishna," and when I see Krishna, KRS, I
Mm-hmm.
always see Christ, Krishna Christ,
Mm-hmm.
is an empty thing for Christ. I mean, for Krishna is not there. This car is but an idol of a people drunk on wine of carnal things. Allah lives not in the noise of tongues. There is no way to him from any idol shrine. Allah's meeting place with man is in the heart, and in a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still. Continue.
If you want to
Mm-hmm.
stop there, you can always stop wherever you like and speak from the same. If you want to
Okay,
give a
I'll
measure
stop
on,
there. That's seven. That's
okay.
7 passages. Now, when he said, "Behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body
Islam.
with no soul, a temple with no altar fires."
Islam.
Y'all, I'm just the revelation is heavy on me. This is what's
Islam.
out there right now. This is what we're contending with. People that they not tapped in, and some of them, a lot of them are our people,
Mm-hmm.
because we know how the enemy has tricked the masses, making people believe it doesn't exist. We know our
Mm-hmm.
lower self is there. We know the shaitan goes to and fro looking for whom they may devour,
Islam, come on,
and
I'll be
devour
all
with emotions,
mm-hmm.
being consumed by our emotions. And it's almost like it's a sexually transmitted disease. That's how this shit is, excuse me,
Whoa!
that's how it's being passed from person to person. This
Sexually
lack
transmitted
of
disease.
or spiritually transmitted disease, whatever we want to call it. It's the
Same
same,
thing.
same. Yes. So something I'm seeing people like a body with no spirit, and that's what we are dealing with. That's what we're looking at. So my question to you, Sistren, is when we have a loved one that's moving like this, how do we continue to love and support and still protect our temple?
Patience.
It's long.
Patience.
It's long.
Vashira, I'm sorry. I shared some personal stuff with Sheikah Slate before we came on.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna talk, I don't mind if I'm not around, you bring her up to speed with what I'm dealing with.
Yes, it's
But
long.
all of a sudden the stillness of Allah, the peace of Allah came down on me. You know how upset I was.
Yes, it's long.
And folks was at home trying to surprise me, having folks clean up and get things right. But my thing is that's not how you cover by doing more stuff. You gotta atone and you
It's
gotta be
long.
able to speak to my spirit.
It's long.
So I'm glad I didn't indulge in my lower self by acting like Lil JoJo. Cause Lil JoJo, we
See?
put her in the closet and
Oh,
we
little
only let
JoJo.
her
Little
out
JoJo. I know that's right. She
when it's
said little
time to
JoJo.
Lilith some stuff, okay?
Woo, woo, woo.
But
Whoa.
still, there will be discussion. But
It's
I need
long.
to know, and we need to know, because now more than ever, the Most High is separating the wheat from the chaff. Is that what it's called in the Bible?
It's
The chaff.
long.
And
Uh-huh.
so, how do we deal with the chafe? Because we have to work with and for the chafe. Sometimes it's our children. We got to feed the chafe. It's a strange mix, like the prophet said.
It's long. Totally a strange mix. Well, the first thing what I'm gonna say, what has helped me, because as I always say to you, Joya, even when I'm responding to anything that my sisters come to me with, a lot of times I can respond from experience, not just from what I heard, just
Mm-hmm.
because of the things I have been through. Just the things I have been through, all together. So
Yeah.
I would say this from these lessons. When you're dealing with someone like that, I'm gonna say, if I would say, if you have these lessons in your hand, where would I tell you to go if you're dealing with someone, whether it's your mate, your children, whatever, right? I would probably take you to the back of this circle 7, this Holy Quran. My apologies. This Holy
Mm-hmm.
Quran circle 7. And I would probably start for myself to study within myself so my answers can come through. This is how I feel like we channel the downloads from Allah through, we can channel them through these lessons here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say start with, hold on, y'all. Let me get my other circle 7 because my circle 7s are all falling apart. My apologies.
And this book got all the adapt lessons in the
I love
back.
it.
So I still just screenshot it too for your sister. I need to get a circle 7
Yeah, that's
because
how I got you. I'm gonna get
okay.
you one. I'm gonna get one from my teacher. I sure am. Get one
And
from.
Brother Terrell, he did send a whole nother set of messages, about the things he was talking about in our live, as far as this book, the lessons, that piece on Adam and Eve we were discussing. I'm gonna
Islam.
forward all of that to you, Islam.
Okay, cool. Islam. So I would say, if you ask me, I would go from starting at chapter 40. I would do chapter 40 to chapter 44. Do I want to say 44? I would
With
say
the
the
phone.
chapter 44 for right now. I'm just saying to study for yourself when you're dealing with these things, because you have to understand where this is coming from. The instability of man, the
Yes. The
inconstancy,
inconstancy.
the
That's what I went to
weakness,
first. Mm-hmm.
the insufficiency of knowledge, misery.
Mm-hmm.
In love with misery, y'all. We ain't in love with nothing else. Some people they love misery. That's why they'll cause drama and confusion,
Yes.
because they love misery. People
That's
don't
their
like
comfort zone.
people would if we were talking a bunch of gossip, this chat would be off the chain. People would be all over the place. But when you're coming with some truth and you coming from a loving place, that's how you can separate who they say. What can say? Is God's side or the other side, and I'm not concerned with the other side. I'm only concerned with Allah's side. So guess what? Allah's side pushes peace. Because everywhere around the world, people that's what they want to obtain is peace. So I'm just gonna say this to you, Joya. I'm gonna come into Misery. I'm gonna read some of Misery, and then I'm gonna let Vashira give her. Excuse me, here I go with these glasses, y'all. I'm not a good put my glasses on type of person. I don't know how to put my glasses on yet. But anyway, so out of chapter 44, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 44, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Misery. So this is your lower self. This is your sorrowful self. Oh, I feel so sorry. Please, just sorry for me. Because what they did to me then, you're going to do the same thing to me, and I just don't trust you. And this is where it comes from. Feeble and insufficient as thou art. Oh, man, and good. So you even insufficient in the good and the bad. So it's already right here, in the good and the bad, you're being insufficient. Frail and inconstant as thou art in pleasure. Yet there is a thing which thou art strong and unshaken. Its name is misery. It is the character of your being. Remember, we have acts. Character, practice. Come on, Akhenaten, Islam. Come through, Akhenaten, Islam.
Come through, Akhenaten.
That's who taught me that, though. Actions, these acts that we have. It is the character of thy being. This misery, the prerogative of thy nature, in thy breast alone. So even in this carnal heart, it resideth. Without thee, there is nothing of it. And behold, what is its source but thy own passions? Your own passions go to the misery. That's you, your passions. Our passions, they cause misery because we can want something so bad. We can want somebody so bad. We can want something so bad. And when we can't obtain it, we are just miserable. We cry, we depressed, we can't eat, we can't sleep. Oh my goodness. And it goes for men and women. It goes for men and women. So I always feel like coming out of this circle 7, when you start seeing yourself, because this has been me. And sometimes still me. I'm like, dang, but I want that. And I can't have it. I want it now. But right now, I don't want to be patient though. Why? You know, it's like a little kid. He gave thee also reasons to subdue them. And you can find, we're going to keep going. Exert it, and thou shalt trample them under thy feet. Thine entrance into the world, is it not shameful? Thy destruction, is it not glorious? So there's shame of coming into the world, a birth. Oh, that's gross. I don't want to see that. That destruction, boy, they glorify it. They glorify destruction. And even within ourselves, we'll glorify the destruction within us. Because we'll call it to us. We'll call it total destruction to ourselves. But when we bring something into the world, it doesn't matter, a business idea, anything like that, a business. It becomes, oh man, it's hard. Oh man, I ain't got the money to do that. Oh man, it's every excuse in the world. It's every excuse in the world to do this.
Let me say something real quick. I hate to cut your wisdom, but that same thing I told you about, that force, that I have not had any peace on this 5-day shift. Every time I'm trying to have peace, I'm not going to be able to continue. But Islam, thank you all for this portion.
Baby.
Islam.
Islam. These lessons can become, they can trigger and they can hurt because we find ourselves in this. I'm telling you, I see myself in these lessons all the time, Vashira. It's a big work to be on yourself. That's the only reason I ever choose to come on live. It ain't because I'm trying to find no following or no people. It's for the simple fact of I'm healing myself. I'm trying to
For
figure out
your
how to heal
own.
myself. So I'm looking upon the world to figure out, well, how do you do that? Then I get more science and I start finding myself and saying, well, girl, you need to get. I sometimes I'm going to be like, girl, you need to get yourself together because that's you right there.
Because you can look at the other person who's actually acting in such that way, and you have to take your step back and look at yourself in that situation, how you would want to be held accountable. Because sometimes you get held accountable in a ruthless, maybe in an irrational way, where it's more harmful to the situation that it afflicts the situation more. You know what I'm saying? What was it? It says. Where was I was reading. You was just reading it.
What thy entrance into the world is it not shameful? Thy destruction is it not glorious?
Oh, it says, man foreseeth the evil that is to come, and he remembered it when it is to pass. He considered it not that the thought of affliction wounded upon thee, and thou shalt avoid the most that hurt thee. So sometimes you handle that situation and acting in a certain way, you're going to hurt yourself more so than you're going to hurt that person, and they're not going to get the message that needs to be received. So as Jesus was revealing everyone from their sinful ways, he did not judge. He taught not to judge
Islam.
and to act upon love, which goes back to the principles what the prophets brought us, to love instead of hate in all acts.
Exactly. Islam.
And that's hard to do sometimes, because we we're
Is.
in this regard, and we're in our carnal self, so we're going to act certain ways. That's inconstancy. That's our nature, and that's where we have to learn how to attain our low and take a step back and actually come from a higher tone, a higher place, to actually get your message across. Islam.
So he who begetteth the man hideth his face, but he who killeth 1,000 is honored. Wow. And you can tell that's the way of the world. Look at that. That's bad.
The world is in trouble.
Yes, very much. That's what I said. Right. That's what I say. If we don't obey the laws of our religion, are you serious? Sister Shar said it best. The ism, that's applying it. We gotta apply the pressure because y'all, it's not applying. You ain't applying these lessons to your life. You can't be reading the same thing. You cannot. There's no possible way we can be reading the same thing. But people are quick to come tell you how wrong you are about what you. And I know what I'm reading. I mean, I ain't the smartest cat in the bunch, but I believe I understand context of words and the way they're used. And I
Right.
just think people try to make it harder than what it really is because they're trying to stop you from saving yourself. Because maybe they want to be the ones to feel that they saved you, but there's no one that can save you. But Shira, we know that best. We learned that with our children. You think you can hold on to them forever, but eventually they're gonna make their own mistakes and do their own thing and go do their thing, and we be like all in an uproar.
Yeah, that's their it's trial and error. Every day is a test. Every day is a test. It's your own experience. So you just gotta, you gotta reflect. You gotta sit down and reflect. You gotta stay in your lessons. That's why this is very detriment, where you need something that's going to ground you. You just need this. I'm gonna say you need this. You need something that's gonna ground you. Whether if it's this, the Bible, the Holy Quran, the Mecca, whatever is going to ground you. Because in naturality, we are nature. We have everything nature has. Like, I read this thing where it's like laws. It says we don't actually need laws because we are a part of nature, and nature has its own laws. So if you are abiding by the laws of nature and the universal laws that was set out by Allah, there wouldn't need to be any man-made laws that needed to be put in play.
If our word was bond, oaths are unnecessary. How about that part?
Yes.
But we're too miserable of a people. I mean, come on, we really are when we think about our people are they're sick. It's an illness. Misery is a mental illness.
Oh, I know. I was there once before.
Yeah.
And misery loves company. So if I'm miserable, if I'm not happy, oh, you're not gonna be happy neither. You know, or you're not gonna be you're gonna be miserable too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm inflicting others upon my misery, and that's I mean I've been there, but that was just because I felt like I had a personality. Well, my thought process was an entitlement. You know what I mean? When you have a thought process of being entitled of such, when in our reality, nobody owes you nothing. Don't nobody owe you anything. You owe yourself. If you don't like a situation, you step away from the situation. You can't change a person to treat you or be the person you want them to be. You have to be the person who you want to be and reflect on that. If they want to come along, they can. If not, peace. You let the peace be still.
Wow.
But when it comes to my household, I'm running that. I mean, it's not my way, but it's my house. So if I don't like something, you can get out.
Facts.
So, you know, like this is how it is. If you causing me peace, my home is my peace. So if anybody that's in my home is causing me to take away my peace, I'm going to have to regulate that, you know, with patience, because they more than likely, if you're in my home, you're a loved one. You're my children. Right. No one comes into my home unless you are my children or family. Like I don't like really a lot. I don't like company. I really be mindful of the company that I do keep and what I allow in my house. Yeah. So
and so you should be, and so you should be. And that's, you know, that's the thing. So, like I say, sometimes we want things and we want them right then. We want this instant thing, because I know I can truly be one to say that. I'll get all giddy all on the inside, and it's like, but I want it now. And it's like, no, but you can't have it now. But I'm like, but I want it now. And I'm like, no, you can't. And so I have had to battle with myself, because it was a sense of entitlement. But I also feel like some of this stuff comes from trauma as I was, you know, younger, and things that happened. And I'm like, ooh, maybe that's why I was that way. Wow, that's where that came from. So understanding the misery and not blaming somebody else for what has happened. You have to stop bleeding on people that don't cut you, period. I have been the one to think, oh, I can fix them. I can fix him. I can fix him. I can fix him. Even when I was married, I can fix him. No, people only can fix themselves. And working on yourself is an everyday thing. So all this, I'm working on myself. You have to work on yourself every day. But working on yourself means what? Excusing that you shouldn't enjoy certain things of life. You shouldn't have love and affection and attention. That's a lie. You need that. You need that to keep going. That love energy raises up. Just like I said, I was like, oh, after that call, I got to get this I got to get this energy right. I need some, you know, some love music. Let me get it in my system. I'm a Sagittarius, y'all. Like the fire got to be right.
Right. Because it does. And what you were speaking, your phone call, like, not to cut your thought, but
no, come on, I'm ready.
You said your sister, you know, so that was that. I have a sister who calls me for stuff like that, but it got to a point at sometimes where I didn't have the energy to even pick up the phone. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have that energy to pick up the phone. Like I had to protect my energy because it gets draining, and I'm a very empathetic person. So, you know, I'm very nurturing. I like to help. You know what I'm saying? And if I can, I'm going to help you. I will stand in the situation and try to, you know, help the situation at hand. Especially you're my sister. That's my job. That's what I'm going to do. But I've done that so long and so much to where sometimes it'll knock me off of my square and it'll rear me off, and I'm off balance now. You know what I'm saying? So I have to protect my energy. But sometimes when I know I'm not at my highest height, I recognize I can't take on anything else. I can't take up on anybody else's. I really, I wouldn't say I don't care what you're going through, but at this time, I don't care to hear it. I don't have the energy to go through what you're going through. Like, I'm not answering my phone. You can text me, shoot me a text and be like, are you good? Are you okay? If it's an emergency, yes. But if it's just something that you want to vent, sometimes we have to stop allowing people to vent to us sometimes. Wow. Like, you really do, like, because it's like, for what? Especially to ones where, you're going to get this conversation again within another week or so. So why are we talking about this? You can only talk about the same thing for so long.
Yeah, that's what And I've just, I've had
because I get very passionate about my sisters, about my siblings. Like, they call me, oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, don't call me because you say something. You don't call me. I'm reacting.
Yeah.
No, don't call me.
I'm the oldest too, so yeah, you call me our big sis, I'm coming. But I have other things that I have in my past right now. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta choose your battles wisely. You know what I'm saying? Because misery loves company, and it may be a misery, like no one's intentionally inflicting that on you, but that's what happens when you call someone. So even me, if I have a situation, sometimes I had to learn my first thing is not to pick up a phone and call anybody. If anything, I'm gonna lay my rug out and I'm gonna do Salat. I'm calling on Allah first and foremost. That's gonna be the first thing. That's gonna be my first priority that I do. And if he leads me to where after I've done said my prayer or made dua and did Salat, 9 times out of 10, truth be told, I'm getting a phone call from somebody who I actually really wanted to talk to. So that was, you know what I'm saying? So that guided me into that direction. So I'm like, okay, Allah is talking to me, but I talked to him first. So I let him be my decision maker.
Because Allah is your guide and you're right. So you're right. You have to. Okay. So then we'll say that. Because I totally agree with that. Go to Allah first and allow him to guide you. But you got to be able to open yourself up enough. That's the only reason why I went to choose this chapter. Because even when we say, let's go to Allah, the reason, Islam, AGS. All right, my fault. The reason why I said to go to this, because we'll run from these lessons until we really see them and read them, right? Islam. And that's the only reason why I chose it, but I totally agree with you, sister, when you say go to Allah first. But you got to get to know Allah. And until you know thyself, you'll never know Allah. So where are you going to find yourself? You're probably going to find yourself in a lot of misery. That's why the prophet put this in here, misery, because we be miserable. We'd be miserable. I just was sad. I was just sad. I was just almost let somebody take me over the edge on some stuff. And I'm like, man, no, come back out of that. I had Sister Isha. That's my peace and love daughter sister. She's the peace and love daughter sister. I get too hyped. She'd be like, all right, let's shift the energy. So all you doing is shifting the energy. She's like, let's shift the energies. We ain't doing this. Y'all this energy up in here. And I'm like, all right. She's a Scorpio. And Scorpio in my chart too. I'm like, oh, my Lilith is Capricorn, sis.
I told you that. I told you your Lilith was Capricorn.
Ooh.
I can't. You just
whoa. Baby, that chart is off the chain. I was like, whoa. I said, oh, this is explained.
Did you have her to read it?
Huh?
Did you have her to read it?
Who? Me?
Did you have somebody to read your natal chart?
Nah, I got it from what you showed me, what you told me to go to. But
what I told you to go to, you did it? Okay.
It was really something else. I was like, wow, all right, I can see. Now I know y'all Lilith and Capricorn. It's making sense why this Lilith energy that has come in, why I'm like that, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I'm like, I just keep feeling, I'm like, get up, go. And I'm like, all right, you're right. I did ask for it. Then I'm like, I can't be a nomad and nobody but myself, Islam. But let me, I'm going to make a point to AGS. Always my AGS has always taught me so much. And of course, I know I'm about to get a good lesson. Our AGS, Cyril Sills Bay, is in the chat. He says,
Islam, my brother, tell him I miss him.
I miss him so much. I want the temple. I want my AGS back. Islam, the reason laws are made for man is because of where we fall on the ether planes. I do agree that the laws of man should be based on Allah's law of nature. Allah
Right.
made the makers, owners, and sole controllers. We are the rulers of the land. We just need to rule justly. That justice, why I talked about that justice. To do so, we definitely need to be in line with the natural law. Now, the
Mhm.
Kavet is that man has a higher self and a lower self that need laws to govern them. Animals and nature do not have two selves. They are not. That's true. Very true. You're right.
They don't
Very,
have they don't have that conscious of having two selves. It's just one. They only have one nature. If a dog's a dog is a
a
dog.
dog is a dog, right?
If a cat's a
I
cat,
mean,
cat's
it's
a cat.
nature. He like, I don't know how to be in my higher self. What's my higher self?
To be a
I'm
dog.
not biting nobody. Take all my teeth out there and then claw me. So I can realize I do have God. But yeah, and I understand what you're saying, Islam. But we do need that natural law. If we abide, I feel like that's how it was. Someone in on TikTok some time ago that said, when I say who taught you how to love, and that brother
Mhm.
came back. He said nature taught me how to love. I said, oh. I was like, oh, that's a good one. So now more than ever, because I'm in nature a lot, Sister Isha is a farmer and she does flowers. Y'all seen my flowers she gave me because I was.
Sis Latae, you done froze up on us.
No, it came back. But anyway, so yeah, these beautiful flowers that she goes gets flowers. So I was feeling all sad. She brought them in here. She usually gives me flowers and I have them up, but it was just like, oh my gosh, just the simple, and it's nature because you just look at them and you can look at the way the flower just unfolds and just the beauty, and it's
Oh,
like
you
that.
got some. What are them? Some day? Is it sunflower? Are them sunflowers?
Sunflowers, yes.
I showed you my flowers in there. They're so pretty. Did I show you my flowers? They're the little Gerber. I think they're Gerber daisies. I think they're Gerber daisies. Since you done froze up again.
Sometimes this thing is tripping. I don't know why this thing be tripping like this, but it be tripping. But we good. We got this. We got this energy. All
So,
right.
is he still on?
I
I have a
believe so.
question. I have
AGS,
a question.
because she has a question. AGS. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, when we were, in the church, they say we were born into sin. So when they say we were born into sin, is the meaning of that? Ask them, is when they say we're born into sin, it's not considered to be. It's not our actions. It's just we were born into a fleshly garb. In the flesh, is it a sin to be? This is the sin. Our flesh, are they trying to say that's the sin? What is the sin
That we
that
were
we were
born
born into?
into.
And he reveals of our sinful ways. That's why I gotta go back to that. Did he hear
Mhm.
me?
Yeah, he did. He's listening. He's at work. I think he's probably typing because he's working.
Okay.
AGS always been at work now. He gonna always be at work, but still in tune with class somewhere around the map. I love it. Hey TikTok, thank y'all for being on. Thank you for listening in and learning, and we're all learning from each other. Which one? You going to Sinful Ways, chapter 8?
Yeah, teach us to know the Holy One who speaks within the heart, Allah of the still small voice. And Jesus said, the holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the Spirit of the Holy One. So if we were born into sin, that meaning because we were born into flesh, is flesh the sin?
I'm gonna say from what I learned from church, but I'm gonna wait for AGS to really speak it and give his, because I know, he can bring it more into this. But learning from church, yes, that was it. It's the fact that you came into this fleshly body, this form.
Okay.
That was the sin, because the flesh, I guess, the carnal flesh does its thing. It likes desire. It's all caught up in desire.
Right.
So they feel
It,
that's
it,
what
what else? Like,
how you know that a baby ain't, what desire they got? They hungry, they crying. How you born to sin? I just want some milk. I just want my mommy. I just want my daddy. So that part I'm
okay. So it says, but it says in key 9, and Jesus said, the holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the Spirit of the Holy One. But in their image, man was made. And he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. And when man honors man, he honors Allah. And what man does for man, he does for Allah.
Islam.
So I got to keep reading because I'm trying to figure out where is he speaking on. He's revealing to the people their sinful ways and the sin that lied within us coming into.
But we don't say that man was born into sin over here. That's not
No,
what
that's why I had a question. Like, where did is that where they got that from? That was my question. Like, is that where they got that from? Because I was speaking to my grandmother and, she goes to church. So I was asking her, how are we born into sin? We're just born. So what did we do that where it says that we were born?
What did we do to get
Like, what was it? Like, explain it. Cause I didn't get into church. I was more, I was just forced to go to church. I really wasn't paying attention. No. Then I got spiritual. So this right here is actually, I would say the Bible I was reading it. That was like my first school of getting in tune with God, with God. But it wasn't something that I stayed fast with, So I'm in tune with the Circle 7 and the Quran within my lessons that explains it. I'm connected to this more than, and plus, with the questions and more, it just, it leads me back to my birthright. You know what I'm saying? So I stay within this, but I'm just asking that question, just, like why do people still agree with that doctrine of?
He says, okay, tap see more to see the whole response. Oh shit. Oh no, here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. The measure is church has always had a downward look upon the union of man and woman, meaning the act of sex. The flesh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Islam, you're right.
Okay.
The flesh houses the higher and lower self, but we know the sin is in the thought. The Christian mind frame is that sin is in the world. We were born into the world.
Into the world. So that's the sin. Okay.
Wanted, boy. I
was okay. Well, okay. I was almost there. I was getting it. Tap to read.
Oh yeah, my fault. Yes. All right. Yes, Islam. That's an amazing way to put. Yes. All right. You're right. So yeah, I was saying coming in because it's the whole act of
coming into the flesh of the world.
It's the interaction. But yeah, all right. But
if you're married, is it a sin? But if you're married,
if I'm married, it's not a sin. I mean, but it's
still. So are we all supposed to be immaculate married and still,
Yes.
We are.
We are supposed to be. Because remember, you always say they'd be like, no sex before marriage or no intercourse.
Right. Before marriage, but in marriage could be a union within your higher and your lower self. So that's the marriage that you're consecrating. Okay, I'm not gonna talk. We'll talk about that later. But yeah,
I like that's a different subject. She's like, we're gonna talk about that one later. Yes, but I feel what you're saying. Yes, so that was a great way to put it. That's why I say loving on each other through these measures. Right, that concept comes from Catholicism. You know they
okay.
are warped. That's true. Yeah, because I'll say this. May she rest high. I love my bonus mom was amazing, right? My bonus mom was Italian. I told y'all that. It's funny, she always said more Moorish blood than me. But all right, Mama Chris. In Utah, right? And so as a young woman, this is how crazy, as he said it is. She would come home and her father would want her to give him the stuff under her clothes and give to him so he could smell and make sure she hadn't been with no boy.
What?
Yes. And when she told me that, I was like, whoa. So she would always say how, let's see, mentally that messed her up from that. But those are the things that happened there. And sometimes she would take me to the mass with her. So we would go there. So, when he said that, I'm like, yeah, because that has really, it dropped the Bashira though. Come back, Bashira, if you can. That is a part of what that is. My goodness. Thank you, AGS, for that one. If she doesn't come right back, I don't know. She's coming right back. So we can get her thought back. Here we go. I don't know. We're going to be great. It doesn't matter.
It was me. That was my fault.
It's all right. But yeah, so yeah, that's crazy. That's something. Just coming off of that, like, wow, the things you go through and hear and see. So what else, Sister Vashira? Because I know we're coming down on our ending of the meeting.
We can go over some of the 101s.
Yes, let's get it. All right, let's go. We stopped at 10 the last time. Do you want to go to a certain set of them, a certain one? You might want to do a measure on, since we got AGS right here.
Yeah, tell him stay right there.
You don't want to say no wrong. We know he'll give us the lessons very well and in a loving way. Not beat us up with it. Yes, which set you think you want to do?
We can do 6. Nope. We can do 24 to 35.
24 through 35. We are not going to get all the way over there, but all right.
What?
I said, we ain't going to get all the way over there, but all right. Because as soon as we start with these questions, boy, they start turning into something else. The whole thing just becomes a book. So let's go. You ready? 24. Would you like to read and respond, or you answer and respond? Islam. Oh, Islam. AGS says Islam. Also, the church teaches that Adam committed the first sin. So everyone after him and his descendants are born into the nature, flesh, that contained the first original sin.
So that's where Deuteronomy comes in?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Yeah, I probably said so.
I was trying to count. I used to have to remember them Bible. Ooh, they was hard on the 7-day event.
No, it wouldn't be Deuteronomy. It's Exodus. It would be Exodus.
It's in Exodus. Somebody said Exodus?
No, that's just what I said. I could be wrong.
Oh, yes, sis. He said yes, sis.
What, Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy.
That's when the curses had came upon the God's chosen people.
He said yes. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So 24. Do you want to read and respond, or what would you like?
That's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
It's long.
24. We are reading out of the Quran questions for Moorish Americans.
Uh-huh.
Questions and answers, the 101s. 24. Who was Jesus? He was a prophet of Allah.
It's long.
Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David.
Mm-hmm.
26. Who were his father and mother? Joseph and Mary. 27. Will you give in brief the line genealogy through which Jesus came? Some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz, by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, and Joseph by Mary.
Hmm.
28. Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale skinned nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. How long has that been? About 2,000 years ago. What was the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for Moabites? Moroccans. Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest Amexem. What is the modern name for Amexem? Africa. What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco? Sultan.
It's long.
Where do we get the name Jesus? From the East.
It's long. All right, out of any of those questions, is there any of those questions that you feel you would like expounded upon before we stop? Because these questions can turn into so much more. Are there any ones there that you're like, what does that mean? How does that work?
Okay, it says, why did Allah send Jesus to the earth?
Mm-hmm.
To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale skinned nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2,000 years ago. And it is now 2024, and the same thing is happening now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The same exact thing is happening now.
So history is repeating itself.
All the time until we go back to the law and obey it. Until we get it right. Until we really know ourselves to know Allah, we're going to continue to fall into what we're falling into. It's not going to stop. That's why I say you can't put new wine in old skin. They put new wine in us. We try to figure out, and now everything's busting wide open. Everything. So they put something on us that didn't belong to us. It never did. But even though we know that Islam is who we are, totally, we've always lived that. It's the Islam part of applying Islam to our life that we're not doing. We're making excuses still. We're still making excuses of why this is this way and why this is that way. That's why we'll bring so much of this man stuff in here, man-made. See how he says the flesh, the flesh is what? The flesh is the sin. As they said, you fall into flesh is the sin. But when you look around us in the way our people act, look how they allow their flesh to navigate their life. Look what they do. They create chaos. They're constantly, it's this, it's that. They're not treating themselves right. They're not taking care of themselves, like everything against the temple. The temple is not a place. It's not a building. It's within you. This is a temple. You got 2 temples right here. Right here to stop your headache. We can go back to health and medical science if you need to and learn about the body. It's a temple. It's a whole temple. So if you're not treating that temple right, if you're not even giving that temple law and order, if you're not being the mayat in your life, if you ain't putting no balance, I'm sorry, it's off. And so as we're going to see this, the chaotic world is going to be somewhere. When chaos is going on all around you, just know maybe you probably didn't make it to the other side. If that's all that's around you and you can't get any peace. You can't get any peace within yourself, because that means we got to go check ourselves. What are we doing to ourselves to put us in these situations? That we know we have the power, because Allah, even in the circles, in our lessons, he tells us to put the soul to work. Employ it, put it to work, make it work, because it has actions, and those actions can get away. You can allow somebody else to navigate your life just by your actions of your soul, the thinking, the understanding, the reasoning, and willing. They're not in alignment with Allah. Then you're just going to go after the actions and not the essence, not really what it's really made up of. So this is why things are so chaotic. This is why we're still in question number, what'd you say, 28?
Yes.
We're still in question 28. But people still looking for Jesus. They're still looking for someone to come out the sky. And it's all of our people. It's not some. It's all of them. And they think they have time. But that time is no more. That time is up. That time is literally up. Literally up. Like I was telling someone last night, what people have to understand is, if you don't get it right, do you understand the things you do to people? Like I know in the Bible it does say this: the sins of the father will fall on their children, fall on their sons. It'll fall on them. So if the fathers ain't doing as they're supposed to, those sins of the mistreatment of women, those sins of whatever you've been doing in your life, will fall on your own children. It may not come for you, but you can't sit here and keep doing people wrong. Sisters either, same thing. It can flip. It can flip the same way. The things sisters do to themselves, then those sins can fall upon their children. You have to pay attention to how you're navigating yourself, how you're showing up in front of them and for them. Because you are that example. They're watching you more than you think they are, whether they're grown, whether they're little, they are watching you. And you are that example. And don't think because they're little that they don't know. Yes, they do. They know everything.
Yeah, they do.
They know everything. So, that right there is like major. That's why I say that one question can turn into something so big at this moment. But we have to. That iron hand oppression is still on us. It's still on us. And our people are about to run for some more iron hand oppression in a minute. Coming up here soon. They're running for some more iron hand oppression. You want some more of this? Come on, y'all, keep coming for it. You have to even know what these things mean in context and words. And oh my goodness. So no, I vow to no one but Allah. I can't give vow to man. I don't care how you look at it. It just keeps me and still making me feel like I might as well be in the matrix with everybody else. When I know I can raise my thought to an infinite wisdom and be in one with Allah. Islam. So, anything else before we close? I'm done ranting.
You want me to say something?
I said if you would like to, because I'm going to give an announcement once we're done.
Oh, okay. I don't have anything else that I wanted to say.
No other question? While we still got AGS, I think, over here in the chat. You had anything else to ask them?
How many angels do he see in the chapter 1?
Good one. AGS, Islam. I don't know if you heard Sister Vashira. Say it one more time, sis.
How many angels do you see in chapter 1, the creation and fall of man?
I hope you can say. But I'm waiting for him to come up. But after this, you guys, we're going to start doing things a little bit different because it's a lot of chaos and a lot of energy that's trying to come interrupt this love energy we got. So it's a lot of things that are coming and calls and stuff saying people are trying to interrupt the energy. So from here on out, after this, I mean, to you that love us, if not, it's all right. But you will have to subscribe. You will have to pay a monthly subscription to come get in this business because we're not going to allow anything that's not of a lie to come and interrupt the peace that we're here to obtain. I met the most beautiful set of people last night for the first time. Me and Sister Isha with somebody how we ain't met these people a day in our life. Like, what is we doing? We are drove almost 2 hours away.
How far?
Almost 2 hours, girl. We was out there. You hear me? We get there. These people are just like us. They open the door. They're smudging. It's peace and love. Greetings. We're like, where we come to another planet. The whole house. We've never met each other in life. Beautiful people. Like they call themselves the light beings. Girl, and they are every nationality. They all Muslims, though. They all Muslims. Whether they was a Venezuelan in there, they was all Muslims. Mexican, all of them was in there. Asiatics, it was beautiful. And to meet people that are about healing and peace and bringing peace to the world, I know it's time for the split. So that's what I said. You're going to be subscribing for this business. And whether we got 1 subscriber or 2 subscribers. I made $5 on Facebook from some hair videos I did forever ago. So I'm not tripping, honestly. It's not me. I'm just saying we have to be able to also have a safe space for our sisters to come in. And no matter how they feeling, they ain't got to drop off this live. They can be right there with their sisters getting loved on, their sisters and brothers. Because I know only good brothers will come for this.
Right.
And good brothers will come and teach. And good brothers will support. Islam. Oh, come on, AGS. He said, great question. I have to. He said, that's my Sunday school assignment.
Okay. Okay, well, ask him another question. Ask him, does he consider... I know I already got the kind of the answer. My answer. I just want to.
He got something for you. Hold on.
Okay.
Said,
There you
go. Go ahead. Before he do his homework assignment, what's an angel?
An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
Islam.
What number is that? They're like 37.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me not like do. Hold on. We don't want to be wrong.
30. It's.
Wait, where are they?
38. It's 38. So an angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
But
to carry messages to the 4 corners of the world to all nations.
Islam. Let me see what he says.
Okay.
He also says, sisters, the first teachers of civilization. I love it. Islam. Islam, AGS. When I tell you, he's real. Live love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Have no issue. And it's about protecting the sisters at all costs. Because he protects his wife, his daughter, he's a protector. That is my big brother. I love my AGS. He is like the best. I love his family. Like, I love you, Sister Bashira. I love all my Moorish kin. But what I'm not going to do is put up with negativity. I'm just not for it. We are here to learn from each other. And we needed to show a unity of sharing of how to teach. You don't have to beat each other up. Each person came from their own way, their own school of thought, their own temple. Nobody's pushing nothing on nobody over here. Oh, hold on. Let me show you.
I didn't got found late on my meeting.
I gotta send you $10. You wasn't standing around on your meeting period. You were
I
just in
wasn't
a
standing around. I was another me. I gotta get back in accordance with Act 7.
Okay, I'll send you $10. My apologies.
Just send me the $5 from the Facebook.
All right, AGS said, go ahead. Would you see what he said?
Okay, so the assignment is how many angels in chapter 1, correct? Islam. I got the answer. Yeah, that's the assignment. I don't know. I love chapter 1. It just does something to me. Like I stay in chapter 1 all the time. So, you know, it makes me dive down to the mystic schools, get into it. So
Islam.
yeah.
I love it. Yes, Islam. All right, so that's the assignment. If anyone else wants that assignment, you know what you got to do. But yes, thank you guys so much for being here today. Sister Rashira is super late for her meeting. They gonna get me. My apologies. Islam. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Can we all stand as we recite our Moorish American prayer? Let's just put up 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right, with our heels touching one another. Repeat after me. Allah.
Allah.
The Father of the universe.
The Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Drew Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Islam Moors, I love y'all. Have an amazing Sunday. See you Friday. Peace and love.
See you tomorrow. Tea time.
I'll stay in the back. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Not leaving.
Don't go nowhere. Hey, 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 hey.